Yes, his screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. We'll just wait for a minute more. Let's see if people are joining, and we'll get started. Meanwhile, guys, yesterday we covered virtual machine, few topics of virtual machine. There are still a lot of segments in virtual machine which we have to cover. But whatever we have covered till now, is it clear to everyone? I mean, we have covered very basic as of now. Just the basic page and disk storage type we have covered. So any doubts, any questions on that?
Sohail, I just had a question. Hussein here.
Yes, Hussein.
Yeah, like yesterday, you told the disk should be 5 GB, no?
Hmm.
So I just thought, to get it up to 8 GB and to shrink the volume up to 5 GB inside the VM.
And why would you do that?
Because any which ways, we have premium, we have 4 GB and 8 GB.
No, we can have
So,
5 GB. That was the actual practical. I got your point.
okay,
We'll cover that now. Don't worry. I
okay.
got it. I mean, it's a good gesture that if client is asking 10 GB, don't just exactly keep 10 GB, keep something extra 12 or 13 GB. But in those cases where increase is not possible, in our case, this increase is possible, right? Then let's just give it what client is asking.
Okay.
Because if client's calculation was wrong, instead of 10, in future he may require 12 GB. So it is still possible to give him 12 GB. So we should not then give them 2 GB extra at the first time. We'll see how to get 5 GB. I got your point. The
Okay.
standard were available 4 and 8 GB, right? That is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, because I thought, Sohail, that for 4 GB, whatever the client is paying, for 8 GB, he is going to pay the same.
No,
So,
definitely not. He is going to pay extra for that. He's going to pay less for 5 GB for sure.
okay,
Let's have
is
a
it?
look at that.
Okay. Yeah, please.
But before that, guys, I will quickly upload. I'll quickly go ahead and check. I checked few machines. I've shared the feedback with you, respective feedbacks. Most of you have done a good job. Right? First, let's go ahead and read the ask. What was the ask from client? Let's say if this was a client ticket or a build sheet. By the way, today onwards, I feel now you guys have basic idea. You're comfortable. So I'm introducing a tool today, which we are going to involve in our training, which you will be seeing in day-to-day life when you actually start working. Either you will see this or you will see uh, the alternate of this, which is draw.io. So this tool is VGO, MS VGO. Okay? Like we have MS Word, like we have MS Excel, we have PowerPoint. Similarly, we have MS VGO, right? So this tool, it's mostly being used by your architect team, and they use it to prepare the diagram. When you say that you receive a build sheet or an email from your architect team to deploy something, you'll always get a build sheet, you'll always get text format details, but along with that, you'll also get some sort of diagram like this. I mean, this is very rough and ignore what all this. We are going to create from scratch and I'll be showing it to you. But don't worry, you don't have to create it. This is purely job for your architect team. So don't bother कि यार ये कहाँ से आ गया? How did you do this? How did you connect that? Don't worry. You simply have to know this tool. You should be able to read this tool. That's all. If you get a diagram, you should be able to read it. That's all is needed from you. That's all is expected from you. No one is expecting from you to create or draw an architecture diagram. So don't worry, don't spend your time, energy, and class time also in asking questions. Why did we take this? Right? How did we connect this? What does it mean? Why are we taking this? We are not doing that. Why? Because it is not a part of your job. You need to just know how to read this diagram. Once you know that in better manner, that's all is needed. Nothing else is expected from a cloud admin. Got it, guys? So we'll be utilizing it maybe today or tomorrow or next session. Right? So yesterday I assigned a task to all of you to create a virtual machine subscription. I asked you to take whatever subscription you are a part of. Resource group, respective resource group, virtual machine name, we have already decided. Region, you guys did it well. Operating system 2019, you selected well. OS disk type default. Okay, here it was a mistake from my end. I didn't delete it from the previous one, but I hope you guys were able to understand. And I checked many of your work, and you guys were able to understand. Operating system 2019, availability option no redundancy, security type standard. You did it well, everything was good. Till here, everything was good. This one I did not check because I didn't log into any of your machine, and but I'm hoping you guys are using the same username and password. Right? This was something new for us because this is we have already done, so I was not very worried about it. I'm sure you guys have understood it by now. This was something new. Where I asked you to select OS disk of 256 GB. Many of you have done it, but I feel few of you have changed it later. First time you created with something else and then you changed it later. Why am I saying that? I'll come to that. OS disk type, this should have been, and look at this. When I'm giving you, even I am making these errors. When you get your actual build sheet in your environment, don't expect that everything will be clean and everything will be crisp and clear. That you won't have to ask anything कि आपको कुछ पूछना ही नहीं पड़ेगा. It's not going to happen. In fact, it's never going to happen. You'll always have some sort of questions, something which is missing, something which is ambiguous, something which is conflicting. For example, they are asking machine size this, and they're asking you to add five extra data disks, which is not possible. This size is maximum supports four data disks. Right? तो इस तरह का conflict हमेशा देखने में देगा. So you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to panic about it. Any doubts, any questions, guys, in understanding this request? Yes, no, maybe. Any doubts? People who are there in yesterday's session.
So far, no doubt, sir.
Okay, right. So you had to select your OS disk size. You had to select your OS disk type. I wasn't expecting the default type. Default, I think you get premium SSD. Hence, deliberately, I asked for standard SSD. Then I asked you to attach two data disks, respective name. First disk should be 32 GB, and this should be the type. Second disk should be 5 GB. This should be the type. Now, Hussein's question was under premium SSD, when you go, you don't see 5 GB. What you see is 4 GB and 8 GB. But I did show it to you how to take if you want a custom size, how to do that. I'll show it again. Uske baad networking was default. Tags I asked you guys to put. All of you did correctly. Shutdown time you have done correctly. I changed it now to 1 p.m. It was 11 p.m. You guys have done it correctly. Okay. So it was good. Few changes, few things which I observed. Let's quickly have a look at them. For example, we'll pick Priyanka's machine now. Let's go ahead. Very first thing I'll do is start the machine. So when I log in, I should be able to check the operating system disk and other disk at OS level also, right? First thing, location, I'm good with it. Name, it's okay. I'll simply go to disk. Uh, Auto shutdown is already there. Standard SSD. Is that what I asked for? Standard SSD. Yes. Fine. This is correct. 256 GB. It is correct. Did you assign it at the first time, Priyanka, or did you resize it?
No, I selected 256 while I was creating it.
Okay. Then one thing which I noticed, well, I'll share it with you guys.
Sure.
Then this one and this one. For your understanding, Hussein, look at this. If I want any size which is not the available, how do we change that or how do we do that? So here, if I want 5 GB, I will select anywhere and I'll just simply come here and type 5. Even I can come here and I'll type 5. And this is how I get 5 GB. I understand it is not listed here. Okay. But you can select any and come here and type a custom size, click on save. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. And yes, they are not paying same. If you take 5, they are paying for 5. If you take 4, they are paying for 4. If you take 8, they are paying for 8. Okay. Next thing, one quick question, guys, to all of you. Not to Hussein, to all of you. Now this disk is 5 GB. I want to make it 3 GB. I don't see that available here. How can I make this disk at 3 GB?
We cannot reduce the size.
Correct. I cannot reduce the size. But if I tell you instead of 5, I want to do it 6 GB or 9 GB, then yes, you can select anywhere and type that number here and click OK. And this disk will be now 9 GB. Do I have to turn off my machine for this? My machine is on. Should I turn off my machine for this?
Not needed for this action.
Where is it needed then? Where do I have to shut down my machine?
OS disk space, if we are increasing, we have to deallocate the machine and do the changes and then.
Yes. Getting it, guys? If you want to make any changes, as in decrease तो possible ही नहीं है, increase आपको करना है, or if you want to change the size, storage type, right? Okay, even look at this. Even the type when you want to change, machine should be turned off even for data disk. But size can be changed when machine is running. It is in running state. So this is good. Next thing, we had to check tags. I can either go to tags and I can check it, or from an overview also I can see the tag. Maybe one is missing. Okay, something went wrong here, Priyanka. Look at this. Under tags, it's created by you on 9th of Feb. It's okay. OS is Windows. It is okay. This is and this is. These both are values. You put one in tag and you have put another in value. These both are values. This was actually like this. कि environment आपका यहाँ पर आना चाहिए था and environment is test. Now it makes sense. And owner who's of the machine is Priyanka. This makes sense. Got it? But that's okay. It
Yes.
could be typo. As far as the topic is, the concept is clear for you guys, it's completely fine. But look at this. This doesn't make any sense. Priyanka environment or test, it won't give me anything. Now it makes sense. Owner is Priyanka, environment is test. Okay. But I'm hoping that it was a typo error. And as far as understanding is clear, that's fine. Okay, now let's go ahead and check the machine. I'll take the remote of this machine. I'll go to RDP, copy public IP, paste public IP. I hope you are using the same user ID and password, Priyanka.
Yes, they are same.
Okay, great. Okay, let's log into machine and check. By the way, I saw 2, 3 more machines. One was Raisa's machine. You have created machine and did not even text in the group, but I deleted that because I checked it already and it was fine. So whoever machines I have deleted, those all were correct. I could not reply in the group because you guys did not post it in the group. But when I logged into the portal, I saw your machines and they were correct. So I deleted them. I think one more was there. I can't recall whose machine was that, but I deleted that. Heather, I think it
I,
was yours.
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Okay. So look at this. Looks good. But what is it missing here, guys? Something is missing and something is wrong, in fact. What is it? Based on the requirement which I had shared yesterday, something is not according to that. What is it?
The OS should be 256 over there.
Yes. From the portal, you have already shared the OS at 256, but what did you do? I guess you created a new. Let me go to disk management. I'm assuming that you have created a new drive from that extra 256, but that should not happen if you have selected that at the time of creation of the machine. But still, let's go ahead and check once. So I open disk management. Yes, look at this. What has happened? यहाँ पर इस disk में you have created 2 partitions, which I did not ask. I asked C drive should be 256. ये पूरा disk 256 का होना चाहिए था, right? So this is how it should have been. I'm not explaining this. What did I do? What you have to do? It's okay. You don't have to do it. I told you this is only for training purpose. In actual, you will always have your OS team जो आपके operating system level पे जाकर करेगा. You have to be sure about the portal. This is what we were expecting. 32 GB, 5 GB, 256 GB. By the way, I changed that 5 GB to 9 GB, right? Why am I not able to see it now here? Why is it still 5 GB?
We have to allocate the
Because
space in
we
the
have to
computer.
allocate, yeah.
Yes. Can you see this? That 4 GB which I extended from portal level, it got extended. But you have to do the same from OS level also. So come here, right click, extend. If I right click on this and do the simple new volume, this won't make of 9 GB. We'll have another drive of 4 GB. I don't want that. What I want is right click and extend. Now the disk is of 9 GB. Clear to everyone? Again, you don't have to
Yes.
worry much about these operating systems command. It's okay. You will always have your operating system team. Fine. So yeah, and yeah, tags are correct. Everything looks good. I'll go ahead and delete these machines. Yes, guys. Any doubts? Any remaining? I will check later. Let's not waste time in the classes. We'll go ahead with the next topic. This is the reason I tell you guys that please complete your homework on the same day by evening so I can check and we don't have to spend time in class. But this I had to explain one of the machines in class. Yes. Any doubts? Any questions before we move ahead to the next step in the same topic?
सोहेल भाई मैनेज अनमैनेज डिस्क क्या होता है
We'll cover
मैनेज
that. We'll cover that. वो you'll understand once we do the storage वाला topic करेंगे ना हम. That time you
ओके
will understand कि unmanaged disk क्या होता है.
ओके
It is frequently asked questions, one of the questions in interview, managed disk and unmanaged disk. Understand one thing, whatever we are doing now, अभी जो हम बना रहे हैं, this is managed by Azure, right? उसमें क्या होता है ना, there is only one reason why they use it, और बहुत ही लेम यूज है, कोई यूज भी नहीं करता, बट यस इंटरव्यू में काफी बार पूछा जाता है. For example, I told you that whenever we are creating a machine, did you guys notice that you cannot take a disk size of operating system which is lesser than 127? इसको 127 से कम कर सकते हो क्या आप? बनने के बाद तो वैसे रिड्यूस नहीं कर सकते हो, ठीक है, दैट्स ओके. बट while creating it, can you take a 4 GB disk and create a machine? Did you guys ever try that? Let's create a machine. If I create a machine here, this is the size of the machine. If I take, if I go to disk, Windows, I'm talking about here. Here it is. Do you see an option to take it lesser than 127? No, we don't have
No.
an option.
No.
Can I decrease it once I create it? बनाने के बाद डिक्रीज कर सकता हूँ मैं OS disk को?
No.
नहीं, no.
Data disk?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Decrease is simple no. No confusion, guys. Decrease, the moment you hear decrease, say no. Data disk को OS disk को decrease आप किसी को कर ही नहीं सकते हो. There is no provision in Azure. Decrease करने का option ही नहीं. Workarounds are there. We'll talk about them later. कि गलती से अगर मैंने एक 1000 GB की डिस्क बना दी, उसमें कुछ डेटा आ गया, सो आई कैन नॉट डिलीट द डिस्क नाउ, राइट? खाली डिस्क पड़ी है तो सिंपली मैं उसको हटा के नई बना दूंगा. बट मैं 1000 GB की बना दी, क्लाइंट ने इमीडिएटली उसमें डेटा भी ट्रांसफर कर दिया. नेक्स्ट डे वी आर रियलाइजिंग कि मैंने तो 100 GB की मांगी थी, यू हैव असाइन में 1000 GB. डिक्रीज मैं कर नहीं सकता. क्लाइंट विल नॉट पे एक्स्ट्रा 900 GB का हर महीना. विल हैव टू डू समथिंग अबाउट इट. सो वर्क अराउंड्स आर देयर, विल चेक देम लेटर. वो सब ट्रबल शूटिंग वाले जब सिनारियोज आते हैं, विल डू दैट टाइम. At the time of creation, 120 GB is the minimum I can see. Decrease not allowed, beat any disk. Is that clear to everyone? Now, I say, यार मेरा ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम तो ना 20 GB में ही चल जाता. Why am I paying extra for 100 GB and then I have 100 machines like this? Do you imagine how extra am I paying? So तब काम में आता है आपका unmanaged disk. Using that concept, you can control this OS disk का size. How to do that? We are going to do later, only once. No one is using that nowadays. No one. बहुत सारे drawbacks आते हैं उसके. There are n number of drawbacks. Though it is cheaper, but n number of drawbacks, you will never ever see anyone is using that. But interview question जरूर आता है. Right? So we'll definitely cover that. बहुत ही छोटा topic है, don't worry. It's not a rocket science. Simple 2 word में you will understand this और आप explain भी कर पाओगे. Fine. But not now. उसके लिए आपको पहले जब storage समझोगे आप, once we come to this topic storage में वो cover हो जाएगा. Fine. So that's all guys we had to do from yesterday. Now let's go ahead and pick it up from where we left. Okay. So yesterday I created this machine. This machine with 2 disks, etc. If you remember, I created one file, one notepad under that, under disk 2. We'll still go ahead and check very quickly, and then we'll go ahead and take the perform the next practical. The next practical which we are going to do is attach an existing disk. Okay. Now this disk, I want to attach it to some other machine. How to do that? I hope by now you guys understand it clearly, but still I will show it to you how to do it. So let the machines get started so I can take remote of this machine. One more learning you guys are going to get today. Now it's going to get complex guys. ठीक है, बहुत plain one liner concept अब धीरे धीरे खत्म होने वाले हैं. Confusion will start from here. कि इसमें रीजन भी बीच में आ जाएगा पिक्चर में, वीनेट भी पिक्चर में आ जाएगा, बहुत सारी चीजें पिक्चर में आ जाएगी. सो प्लीज बी फोकस्ड एंड लेट मी नो इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स. ठीक है. सो दिस इज द मशीन. आई विल टेक रिमोट to this machine and let's see what do we have in the disk. If you remember yesterday I created one notepad file. उसमें ऐसे ही बेसिक हमने रैंडम कुछ लिख दिया था just to show that we have some data in it. Anyone who faced problem while connecting to machine via RDP or who doesn't know how to use RDP? Because I saw not many of you have performed the practical, guys. Few of you have done right, wrong, that's secondary, but many of you have not attended. So anyone who faced problem कि किसी को पता ही नहीं RDP कैसे connect होता है, hence he or she did not do it. Do we have anyone?
I faced some problem while connecting to RTP with the machine that I've created this morning. But I troubleshooted it anyhow.
So you
I
know
was
the
able
concept
to,
of RDP, right? When you say you have troubleshooted, so you know the concept and you have done it.
right. So I've
Great.
initiated the disk, expanded the memory, everything I've done.
Okay. I'm asking guys, anyone who doesn't know at all.
Actually, I was created yesterday that machine, but I was unable to see that IP, public IP over there. So I was
Okay.
confused. I did it wrong or what?
No, you did not. Do you guys remember the concept of quota? I told you your subscriptions will have quota, right? Quota is not only related to your course, right? Quota it's also assigned on your public IP. तो अगर आपके सब्सक्रिप्शन में ऑलरेडी किसी ने 3 या 4 पब्लिक आईपी यूज कर लिया है, यू आर नॉट गेटिंग एन एक्स्ट्रा आईपी. देन आपकी मशीन विदाउट आईपी के बन जाएगी पब्लिक आईपी. Hence your machine
No,
was
but
there without.
it was only two machines were there. I was created the third one, but still I wasn't able to
Well,
get
we'll
that
come to that.
IP.
We'll come to that. Okay, it's not, it has nothing to do with machine. Your public IP can be there without a machine also. The quota is not on machine. It's not on the number of machine. You can have one machine with multiple IPs. You can have one machine with 24 cores CPU. उसी में आपका सारा कोटा खत्म हो सकता है. So it has nothing to do with number of machines. Okay, but we'll see that later. So this is the machine guys which we created yesterday. We had two files, एक 256 OS file लगा दिया हमने, not changing anything. 50 GB का एक disk लगा दिया था, not doing anything to that. 5 GB का एक disk था where I had a file movies. Ignore the spelling. यहाँ पर एक हमारी फाइल है, उसमें there's a folder and sorry, there's a drive, there's a disk and उसमें एक फाइल है. Now what we are going to see is how to reuse this file or how to reuse this disk. ठीक है, we have seen till now, what we have seen it's how to attach a disk. यहाँ पर आते हैं हम लोग create and attach. I'll just call it data disk 3, whatever they have asked for. Let's say they have asked for 6 GB, maybe 10 GB. We simply just come here and apply changes, and this is how you assign a disk. This is how you attach a disk. Next step, it's at OS level. We are doing it here in the training session. In actual world, your operating system team will do it. But how to remove one? Now client is saying, "Sir, I have observed that I am unnecessarily paying for disk 1, which is 50 GB. The data in this disk, it's not usable for me at all. Feel free to delete it, or I have deleted the data, it's empty now. I don't want to pay for this disk." What will you do? Yes, guys. Any guesses? What will you do?
We will remove this disk from this VM. I mean, unattached.
Okay, let's detach this. Data disk 1.
Yeah, detach.
From here, you can detach. Can you guys see my cursor? Do you want me to increase the size, guys, or is it visible?
Yes, visible.
Visible.
Here it is. ये जो unplug का icon दिख रहा है ना, this is where you detach it. So I have detached this one. और जो अब 10 GB की बनाई थी ना, उसको रहने दो, बोल रहा बाकी रहने दो, वो 50 GB वाला, that is overburden for me. You have detached it. Go back to your machine. Let's refresh. Can you see? वो 10 GB वाला अभी नहीं दिखेगा because OS से हमने उसको इनिशियलाइज नहीं किया है. बट वो 50 GB वाली मशीन चली गई, वो डिस्क यहाँ से चला गया. कैन यू सी इट गाइस? Yes, no, maybe, are you getting it?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what was client's issue? Client's issue was he's unnecessarily paying extra for that. You have detached the disk. Does it mean he will not be paying for that? What has happened with that disk? What do you think? The moment I click detach, I'm emphasizing on the name which is written, it says detach. I have detached the disk. What do you think is happening with that disk?
I think it's detached from this machine only, but it is still there. Still there.
Perfect. Yes, it has just detached from this machine, guys. Look at this. Now I'll go to this resource group. इस resource group में मैं जाता हूँ. I'll see what all things are there. Disk 1, I'm aware of. Or I think that was the disk 1. Let's expand this. अच्छे से देखते हैं इसको. See? Now, as per my understanding, मेरा एक पास एक machine होनी चाहिए. Ignore this one. Okay, this has nothing to do with your practical. I was doing something else. I should have one machine. ठीक है, उस मशीन के साथ एक पब्लिक आईपी लग गया, इट्स ओके, आई एम अवेयर ऑफ इट. नेटवर्क सिक्योरिटी ग्रुप लग गया, आई एम अवेयर ऑफ इट. फाइन, वर्चुअल नेटवर्क लग गया, आई एम अवेयर ऑफ इट. निक लग गया, इट्स ओके. व्हाट इज दिस गाइस? ये डिस्क क्या है?
OS disk.
ओएस डिस्क है. कैन आई डिलीट इट? इज इट पॉसिबल टू हैव अ मशीन विदाउट ओएस डिस्क?
No.
No, it has to be there. So I'm okay with it. Apart from this, I remember I told you I need only 5 GB का डिस्क and 10 GB डिस्क. कितने होता है मतलब ओएस डिस्क के अलावा? दो डिस्क. Why do I see 3 डिस्क? ये मेरा 5 GB, ये मेरा 10 GB, the one which I recently added. What is this then? If I click here, then you will see ये वही डिस्क है 50 GB का जिसको आपने डिटैच किया. Right? Now look at the state. Disk के state में देखिए, it says unattached, which means it is not attached to any virtual machine. Does it mean the client is not paying for this?
No.
Yes, client is obviously paying for this. So what you have to do, the moment you detach that, you'll have to delete this disk. Obviously, you can't delete it when it is attached to a virtual machine. So first step will be to detach. come to that disk and click on delete and delete. It will take some time. Once that is done, if you go back to your resource group, then you will see एक disk वहां पर आपको थोड़ी देर में कम दिखेगा. It is still in progress. Look at the notification. Now it has been deleted. If we refresh it once or twice, वो disk यहाँ से थोड़ी देर में गायब हो जाएगा. Now you are not paying for that 50 GB का disk. Is that clear for everyone, guys? How to delete the disk? Difference between
Yes.
detaching and deleting the disk. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, what do you think? When will I detach? Detach करके मैं क्या करूंगा? Let's go to the next वाला disk. ठीक है? ये वाला ये है. ठीक. Let's say it's gone now. I am saying again. Here जो आपने वो नया 10 GB का disk लगाया था ना? I am going to use that. Fine. What? Still यहाँ पर दिख नहीं रहा है, guys. Okay. I have not done that from OS level. It's okay. We don't have to get into that habit. But that disk is there. I hope all of you are understanding it, right? किसी को कोई कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है इमेजिन करने में दैट दिस इज देयर? इफ नॉट मैं उसको कर देता हूँ वैसे भी. बट आई डोंट वांट यू टू गेट इनटू दिस हैबिट जहां पर डिस्क पे आप खुद काम करते रहो. एंड दिस मशीन इज वेरी स्लो बिकॉज हमने 1 GB रैम दिया है इसको. हेंस आई डोंट डू मच थिंग्स ऑन दिस वन. सो व्हाट एम आई सेइंग हियर कि वो जो 10 GB का डिस्क दिया है, फ्रॉम नाउ आई विल बी यूजिंग दैट डिस्क फॉर दिस मशीन. ठीक है? दैट्स व्हाट आई विल डू. हियर इट इज. डन. आई एम सेइंग फाइन, ये 10 GB का डिस्क मैं यूज करूंगा. व्हाट अबाउट दिस 5 GB डिस्क? इसमें इसमें डेटा तो इंपॉर्टेंट है और लगता भी है, बट आई एम नॉट यूजिंग इट नाउ. The other manager or other application, they will be using this data. So what I want you to do is detach this disk and attach it to some other machine. So first thing is detach. How to detach? Again, you have to come here on this disk, data disk 2, detach. That is the reason names are very important. Naming convention इसलिए important होता है. Otherwise अगर आप रैंडम नेम देना शुरू कर दो तो यू वोंट इवन अंडरस्टैंड कि कौन से डिस्क की हम बात कर रहे हैं. वहां पर तो दिख रहा है, यहाँ पर वो डिस्क कौन सी है. दिस इज ट्रेनिंग सेशन. एक या दो डिस्क दिख रही है, बहुत प्लेन एंड सिंपल है. एक्चुअल एनवायरनमेंट में यहाँ पर यू विल सी 20 डिस्क, 25 डिस्क. वहां पर ओएस लेवल पे यू विल सी सो मेनी डिस्क. इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. और सेम टाइप होता है, सेम साइज होता है. सो इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट कि किसको ये करना है. हेंस वी फॉलो द नेमिंग कन्वेंशन वेरी रिलीजियसली. उससे बहुत हेल्प होती है. Okay, so now I'm detaching the disk. It has been detached. Apply. So now if I go to this machine, again I will have only one disk. Okay, in some time it will be gone from here. It's gone already. ये तो temporary disk है which I have already explained. Can you see guys? Data disk एक और चला गया. अब इस मशीन पे मेरा कोई काम नहीं बचा. Leave it. Now the next job is attach this disk to some other machine. Fine. Now look at this. How many machines do I have here? 2 machines. So do you think that I can attach that disk which I removed from here? From this machine, I removed one disk, right? I can go ahead and check that again. अगर मैं disk देखता हूँ सारे, if I search for the disk, ये है मेरा data disk 2, data disk 3, data disk 3. This is attached. Look at this. इसका owner है, ये virtual machine से connected है. Fine. ये virtual machine से connected है, ये भी virtual machine से connected है. This is also connected. This is an upgrade disk which I have created long back. I know okay, this is not the one which I'm talking about. So एक ही 5 GB की डिस्क है. This is the one. Fine. तो ये डिस्क मुझको अटैच करनी है. And if I click just to double verify, look at this. This is unattached. So this is the disk I have to attach to some other machine. Now my question is, look at this. Can I attach that disk to this machine? What do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and give it a try.
No,
So I click, why no?
because regions are different, na?
Yes. Okay, let me explain that. Yeah, your answer is correct, but yes, let me explain that to everyone. So if I have to attach a disk, I simply have to go to that machine, click on disk. For new, we say this one. create and attach. But now we are attaching an existing disk. So I click on existing disk. And here, if I click here, I should see that disk available. But I'm not able to see that disk. Why? As Raisa mentioned, that the region of these two machines are different. So this is very dominant and very essential prerequisite whenever it comes to switching the disk and attaching the disk, that both machines should be in same region. Is this clear, guys, to everyone? So tomorrow, if an interviewer is asking you that I have a machine in East US, I want you to remove a data disk, detach a data disk, and attach it to a machine in Central US. How will you do that? Your first answer should be inter-region disk swap is not possible. If you want to remove a disk and attach a disk, you will have both machines should be in same region. Guys, we have only 30 seconds left in this session. Let's take a break of 5 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to create one more machine in the same region in East US, and then I'll show you this practical. So I'll resume at 11:45. Same link.